Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off lying down. Bend your knees, bring your feet so they're flat to the ground. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to bring your focus and awareness to your breathing. Feel your belly and your chest rise and fall. Every exhale, allow yourself to sink a little deeper into your mat. We'll start off with some easy glute activation. Bring your hands down to your side, push into your feet, and lift your hips about halfway off the ground. And then lower your hips down. We're going to take this a few times, just over and over again, pressing into your feet. Lift your hips for just a moment, about halfway up, and then lower them down. So we just start to find some easy glute activation, getting into the back body here. Push down into your feet. Make sure that your knees are truly tracking right over your toes. And feel that constant squeeze of your glutes together. Now keep your hips lifted up and bring your right heel a little bit further in front of you. Flex through your right foot and actively dig into your right heel. Feel like you could pull your right heel back towards your right glute. Bring your right foot back down. And then switch, so your left foot comes forward. Keep your hips lifted up off the mat. Pull your left heel towards your left glute so you have some extra activation into the left hamstring. Bring your left foot back to flat and then switch again so your right foot comes forward. And now add a little bit of forearm stretch here. Grab your right fingers and pull them back, getting a little bit into the wrist while we activate through the glutes. Bring your right foot back and switch. Left foot comes forward. Flex the left foot and pull your left fingertips back with your right hand. Release your hand, release your foot. And then take your right foot out in front of you again, and then take your left foot slightly forward as well. Flex through both of your feet. Try to keep your hips lifted and imagine that you could pull your heels back towards your hips to get even more activation into your hamstrings and glutes. And then release. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a few moments of breath here, taking easy rocks from side to side. And now start to rock and roll yourself up. We will move into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Extend your right leg so it comes back long behind you. Extend your left arm forward. And now bend your right knee to your right tricep and goal post your left elbow out to the side. So instead of bringing your elbow and your knee together, you're bringing your elbow and your knee outside of your body. We take this about 5 times, starting to find a little more activation into the side obliques and core. After your 5th set, bring your left hand down, keep your right knee up, and take just a few lifts of your right knee straight out to the side. Take this about 5 times. Just a little fire hydrant action here, getting a little more activation into the side right glute. Keep the right knee lifted, extend your right leg so you're turned out through your right foot. Lower your right toes, they tap the ground, and then lift back up. So we're really targeting into the right glute here. Try to keep both of your hips square down to the mat. And we take this about 5 times total. Just find this lift and lower with a straight right leg. Spread your fingers, lengthen through the back of your neck. After your 5th time, rotate over onto your left hand. Bring your right foot down. Reach your right arm up and over and start to take some big circles with your right arm. Finding some lubrication into the right shoulder. Actively press down into your left hand. We take like 3 circles in one direction and then re-extend your right fingertips straight to the ceiling. And then lift your right leg up. Now bend your right knee towards your chest and step it. Try to step it all the way up towards your left thumb. And you'll meet in a 90-90 lunge position. From here, pull your hands back behind you and then bring your hands back forward. So we're just finding a little bit of openness into the chest and in this lunge position. Continue to feel nice and tall through the spine. Feel your shoulder blades connect together. Now keep your arms open wide and rotate your torso over to the right. Try to keep your right knee tracking right over your toes. And then bring yourself back to center. And keep this rotation moving. So you rotate over to the side and then bring yourself back to center. We take this about 5 times. It's going to be a little tricky for the balance, especially for your legs. lot of core work happening here through this twist. On your final twist, hold for an extra few breaths. Feel nice and tall through the crown of your head. Bring yourself back to face forward. Bring both arms up. Bring both of your hands down. Step your left foot forward so you're moving into a forward fold position. Bend your knees, ragdoll pose, shake your head. Let your body be nice and heavy. It could even feel nice to take a little wiggle through your jaw. And then slowly, starting from your lower spine, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead and take a small back bend. And then once again, forward fold all the way down. Bring your hands down and meet back in a tabletop position. We're going to take everything on the opposite side. Extend your left leg back. Extend your right arm forward. Bend your right elbow, goal posted out to the side as you try to bend your left knee up towards your left tricep simultaneously. This is a tricky little balance here. Your obliques are working a lot. Your core is working a lot to stabilize. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Continue to press down through your left hand. And then after your final set, bring your right hand down. Keep your left knee up. And just lift and lower your left knee. A little fire hydrant exercise here. Getting some extra activation into the outer left glute. Take about 5 of these fire hydrants, and after your 5th time, extend your left leg, keep it lifted, turn your left toes out, and lower and lift your left toes down to the ground. So your left hip may want to lift slightly. Try to keep it rotated down to the mat as much as you can, but a little lift is okay. Do this about 5 times. After your 5th time, keep your left foot down, rotate onto your right hand. You can swivel your right ankle as you reach your left arm up, and then find some big circles with your top left arm. Continue to press down into your bottom right hand. Just getting some nice juicy movement into your left shoulder. Take about 3 big circles, and after your last one, keep your left fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling, and lift your left foot, bend your left knee to your chest, and step your left foot all the way up towards your right thumb. Rotate yourself to a 90-90 lunge, reach your fingertips straight forward. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling and pull your thumbs back behind you. So once again, you feel that activation of your shoulder blades pulling together. Try to stay nice and tall through the sides of your waist and try to isolate as much as you can into that musculature of your back. Take this about 5 times. Actively stamp down into your front left foot. After your final time, hold your arms open and rotate your torso over towards the left. And then bring yourself back to center and repeat. Rotate over towards the left and come back to center. So your left foot is really stamped down into the ground as you rotate. Stay tall through the crown of your head. Rotate to the left. On your final time, hold for a few extra moments here. Really press down into your left foot. Take one more big breath. And then rotate yourself back to facing forward. Reach your arms up overhead. Feel your side waist grow nice and long. Bring your hands down to the ground, forward fold, right foot meets left foot. Take a few moments in this ragdoll forward fold, let your head shake out, buzz through your lips, and then roll yourself up to stand. Reach your arms straight forward, find a little bit of a back bend, open through your chest, and then bring yourself all the way back down, forward fold. Bring your hands down, move yourself back to a tabletop position. I'm going to start to activate through the hamstring a little bit more. Slide your left knee forward, bend your right knee a lot, and try to bring yourself up so you're standing on top of your right knee. Try not to place too much weight there. Flex your right foot and pull your right heel towards your glute. Reach your arms up overhead. If you need to use a wall or anything to balance, feel free to do that. Make a prayer with your hands, bend your elbows almost as though you're trying to catch your foot. Just simulating what that would be like. Pull your right heel towards your glute to activate through the hamstring even deeper and maybe feeling a nice pull into the front of the right quad or the right hip flexor. Slowly come out of this And then from here, step your right foot forward. That's a little bit of a tricky transition. And pull your left knee up all the way to stand. Now from here, we're gonna find an easy march. So bring your hands to heart center and just find a simple march. And if you'd like to make it a little more challenging, try to close your eyes. And we take this march about 8 times, just switching from side to side. Keep this moving. Feel free to try with your eyes opened or closed. After your final time, let your eyes open, pull your right knee up, and then extend your right leg back behind you into an airplane pose. Lengthen through the crown of your head. You can have a soft bend in your bottom knee. Now pull your right heel to your right glute by bending your right knee, just to find some extra activation into the right hamstring. Take this about 5 times. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. And then after your last time, pull your right knee back up to your chest, one-legged mountain pose. Reach your arms up overhead as you stay pressing down into your bottom left foot. And then bring your right foot back down to the mat. Forward fold, release yourself all the way down. And we move back into a tabletop position. We're gonna repeat everything on the second side. So slide your right knee slightly in front, bend your left knee a lot, and use your fingertips, walk yourself back so you're in an upright position. Flex your left foot, pull your heel towards your glute, and you can bring your hands to prayer. Feel that activation in the upper back that we found earlier, and you may feel a little pull into the front of your left quad or maybe into your left hip flexor. If you need to use any sort of wall or bar to help you out with balance, feel free to do that. It's gonna be a little tricky for the balance. Stay open through the chest, open through the front body. Release your hands, and this is our tricky transition. Step your left foot forward and pull your right knee up. Bring your hands to heart center. You can interlace your fingers and take these little marches again. And if you'd like a little more of a challenge for these marches, close your eyes. Try to stay nice and tall. Feel your core activate as you lift each knee. Closing your eyes is definitely going to make this a little more challenging. Take a break if you need to. And then meet back with your left knee lifted. You can open your eyes and then extend your left leg long into an airplane pose. Now from this pose, bend your left knee, pull your heel towards your glute, and then extend your leg. And take this about 5 times, but also find a little bit of resistance for yourself, almost as though you're doing this exercise through water. Pull your heel to your glute and extend, lengthen through the back of your neck. Take one more and then pull your left knee back up into a one-legged mountain pose. Reach your arms up overhead, nice and tall. Bring your left foot down to the ground and find a forward fold all the way down. Bring your hands down, step your feet back into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up high, bend your right knee, open your right hip. Just for a moment, press down into your hands. Now pull your right knee up towards your right wrist, move into a half pigeon pose. In this pose, I always like to kind of slither the left toes a little further behind. Now you can stay in an upright position, or if you feel comfortable, you can release yourself down into a sleeping pigeon. I'm gonna give one more option for this pigeon pose just because it's something we've kind of worked up to. If you would like to, if it's available to you, you could bend your back knee, bring your hands to heart center, and maybe you stay there, or maybe you find yourself in a place where you can catch your left toe. Just something to try out. I think it can be a little bit helpful to lift the hips up slightly to get into this position. Just as we found earlier, feeling that nice openness into the front of your left hip flexor. If you're taking this variation, keep pressing down into your right shin, sit up nice and tall. Slowly release. You can give yourself the option to come into sleeping pigeon once again, just let your torso go. Take a few moments of breath, fill the space between your shoulder blades. And then slowly make your way out. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, flip your back toes, come to a 3-legged dog. Extend your right leg up, and then take a few moments just to shake out through the right leg. You could bend your knee, roll out your ankle, and we'll move to the other side. Lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, open your hip, press into your feet, and then pull your left knee up towards your left wrist, half pigeon. Now if you'd like to, you can stay in an upright position or you can crawl yourself forward into your sleeping pigeon. If you'd like to come into the posture we found on the other side, find a slight lift of your hips by bringing your left shin in a little bit closer, and then bend your right knee. Now you could stay right there, or you could lift both of your arms up, bend your elbows, and try to connect your foot to your hands. So you'll find a nice stretch into the front of your right hip flexor and your right quad. And the more you press down into your left shin, the more you'll be able to lift your hips up off the ground. Whichever variation you're taking, give yourself a few more moments of breath. If you've got the bind with the foot, slowly release. You can bring yourself back into a sleeping pigeon. Take a few moments there, let your torso be heavy, release through your jaw. Then we'll slowly come out of this. Bring your hands under your shoulders, flip your back toes, find three-legged dog with your left leg up into the air. Take a moment to shake out through your left leg, bend your knee, open your hip. Move back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to the ground and come all the way onto your back, however you need to bring yourself onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest and take just a few moments, some easy rocks from side to side. We're going to take some easy side-to-side twists. Let your knees fall over to the right, and then let your knees fall over to the left, and just take this at your own pace. If you want to hold for a little longer on one side or the other, feel free to do so. We'll just start off with these easy rocks. You can let your shoulders lift off, tee your arms out to the side, and then bring your knees back into center. Hug your knees into your chest, and then slowly extend your legs long and heavy in front of you. You can bring your arms down by your side. You could bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these few final moments to come back into your breath. Every exhale, allow your body to sink a little deeper into the mat. Thank you for joining us, and that's your flow.